Triple H looks so dumb with that damn belt. What up, Chris? How you living, boy? I am so busy. Let me get some candy. Candy on.
Blog Talk Radio.
There he is.
Can I just don't give a damn? This is what I am.
Marty McFly to you. What's good?
All right. You're listening live.
Rose Gold Poppy, what's good? McFarty, what's up?
This is the Pro Wrestling.
I'm the elderly grandpa.
It's Wednesday.
That's an
October
elderly
19th,
grandpa.
2022. I'm Travis Bryant. In a sec, I'll be joined by Cameron Hawkins. But in the meantime, get my late ass in gear. Let me go ahead and give out all the contact information. This here is an interactive show, so please reach out to us in one or all of the following ways. If you want to have your voice heard on this show, there are two ways of going about that. First way, get in line. Hit us up on the Constellation lines, and Cam and myself will talk to you live on air tonight. Give us a call at 347-202-0103. Again, that's 347-202-0103. If you can't call us live, but you do indeed want your voice heard on this broadcast, you can always drop us a voicemail. The voicemail can be reached at 415-787-5229. The voicemail gives you
was that the opening
3
match
unadulterated minutes to ask your questions, pose your comments, spread your conspiracy theories, break your news, whatever you got for us. The voicemail can be utilized for it. Again, that's 415-787-5229. You can always find us on the email. Email us anytime during the week, anytime during the actual show. The mailbag is always open and constantly being refreshed. So please drop us a line at eastcoastaudioshow@gmail.com. Again, that's eastcoastaudioshow@gmail.com. Let us know in the subject of your email which segment, VIP or non-VIP, that you'd like your email read in. Again, that's eastcoastaudioshow@gmail.com.
Benny, thank you so much.
Find us
King of
on
Diamonds,
Twitter.
what's good?
You can find the show at East Coast Cast.
I had Chipotle like Monday, what's good?
East Coast Cast. You can find my personal Twitter at Trav Lord. And you can find Cam at Seahawk. That's CEE Hawk. And speaking of CEE Hawk, listen along, watch along, chat along, follow along. Check into Cam's Twitch.
I'm making
stream.
salmon tonight.
He broadcasts a couple times during the week, usually, and every week here live on Wednesdays at 6:30 5:30 Central.
Never bad
That's
time for pancakes.
twitch.tv/Seahawk. All kinds of fun conversations and shenanigans happening over in the old Twitch stream. And the last bastion of Get At It, you can find us on Facebook. The Facebook fan page can be found at facebook.com/PWTorch East Coast Cast, or just search East Coast Cast or PWTorch, and you will see us among the Torch family of fan pages. So please give us a like, share us on your timeline.
We'll talk about it, Jay, right?
Tag your wrestling pals. Get the word spread that way. Please and thanks. All right. Without further ado, Cameron Hawkins,
Unmuted.
please save us.
Look at this dumbass video game. I actually own this, like Raw 2.
First off,
Yes.
what is Lesnar wearing on his legs?
Yeah. When does like
What the hell is that? But okay.
fascinating track pants? This game is ass. You had to you play season mode. I'm gonna rest, or I'm gonna try to drop a brick on somebody's head. Oh, somebody pulled up on him. Damn, why did you open? Why? That was so silly. Anyway,
I'm gonna rest.
What's going on, man? Work. Oh, work. I've intimated this to you, Travis, and I've complained all on social media. So we've been planning this Mello interview for about a month, right? I reached out to Mello. Mello's my man, and I was like, "Yo, I really wanna write an article about you." And he was like, "Cool. Holler at media." So I was like, "All right, cool." Man, they moving so slow. So finally, we get an email like Sunday, and they're like, "Okay, just so you know, we penciled you in for Wednesday." And I was like, "Wednesday?" Like, and Halloween Havoc is Saturday. So like, we did the interview today at 11, but basically I have until right now and 8 a.m. to get this done, right? So basically I got to write all night to have a rough draft to turn in tomorrow during the day, to have my editor look at it, to hopefully have it finished.
Make any revisions or whatever.
Yeah, we got to do that. And then we try to have it up by like 8 a.m. Eastern on Friday. Because, so it's a lot. But Mello was a really good interview. I got some real insight to like the PC, which was cool. But the other half of that, so a month ago, we're talking about it, and like Shawn Michaels is his boss. Shawn Michaels is his coach. When we talked, I got to really see the extent to which Shawn Michaels really helps him, right? Dog, we had the artist working on, basically we're going to call it Cruiserweights and Heartbreak, after Kanye's 808s and Heartbreak. We had the art set up. It was going to be him with it was going to be Mello in the Kanye suit with the heart, the Lego heart on the lapel, and it was gonna be Sean and Mello as Jay-Z and HBK on Watch the Throne, or Jay-Z and Kanye Watch the Throne. Like the whole article was gonna be about like college and getting to that point, and then Kanye goes and has to be Kanye, so we got to scrap the whole thing. Dog, like,
if you say so.
It's so much, Travis. It's so much. But no, what was cool talking to Mello. We're still going with like a college angle, and it wasn't even like me introducing it. Like it was like him talking about his experiences and how he feels like the different parts of NXT have been like, going from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior. So it's gonna work out, but fuck, like I had one vision for it and I know what I'm doing, and now it's like, ugh. So, I understand, like, WWE has a million things going on. No disrespect to AEW, but there's more cooks in the kitchen. Like, there's more things happening, So, yeah. So, I also got confirmation from AEW. It's unfortunate because Danny is my man, and he has worked so hard to make things happen. I cannot release the video interviews for free or for Patreon or anything because it wasn't cleared before. So when he went to the front office, they were like, nah, we didn't have that clearance. I was like, so fuck. So, it's not a bad thing. It's unfortunate, but going forward, we'll be able to do that. We'll see if we can let the mellow one out, but there's some stuff I got to edit. So that's how I am. I am working. I'm working. But yeah, Kanye, fucking up the bag. So I've been eating candy and drinking Red Bull all day. And it's going to happen all night. But, this is what we signed up for, right?
Indeed. That goes into my thoughts. That, yeah, it's work and work. But that's the kind of work that, all work, or at least you hope pays off. But this, it's different. So I assume... you're work, whole time, smile on your face, or a smile in your heart.
It's this is like, and it's not official because you have to go through like channels, but like, this is the thing I write to get my Twitter verification because you need
number 3, right?
Yeah, this will be the 3rd article. So, it's all for.
So it's. We all said like, oh, when you hit however many, 10,000, 20,000 followers or whatever. Oh, it's over. It's going downhill. Or a certain person, retweets you early in your ascent. This is kind of like, this is it, right? Like, it's fucking over. Like, for your timeline, I mean.
Yeah.
Like why even?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to show up.
The fun's over. The fun's over. I think I was talking to the homies at Grapsity from Fightful, and it's over. Like, there's nothing that we can say anymore that will just be taken at face value. Like, it's over. So this
it's already
exactly.
It's already a fucking chore to be like, you're one of those weirdos. You're like, I like waffles, and then people are like, why do you hate pancakes? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is it? So
this is it.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
That's going to ramp things up.
Well,
Wait till like Jimmy Kimmel or somebody like super mainstream either says something to you or fucking retweets your shit. Not wrestling mainstream, but like the culture at large. Fucking Dave Chappelle say something to you. I'm a fucking loser.
Oh, and we need to. I got to get with you. I know there's a thing that you're about to tell the people, but I got to get with you. About December because AEW's coming back on December the 7th, and I'm thinking it's a great day to take a day off and jump in the studio.
And go and fully
jump in the studio. Like I got the place me and Peanut used to go to, that permanent RCRD. Yeah, a great day to take a day, because I didn't know they had video services too. So it's a great day to book that. I might hit Danny up now just to have it on his mind, but figure out somebody we want to talk to and make it happen. So yeah. But yes, it is. We'll talk about it, Trav. That'll be a big story. There's no wrestling to distract me tonight, thank God. So that's a bit more time to work for real.
Oh yeah, you can just write and think and not have to worry about what you're missing or have it and showing out the, and peeking out the peripheral on something when the crowd cheers or some shit. But yeah, you said I got something to tell them. I don't have nothing to tell you. You made not made the announcement. No, you did make the announcement.
What's funny, the way the algorithm works, nobody saw that.
What, the we're moving thing?
Yeah,
Craig
nobody.
He was saying
it just doesn't. Whatever. Oh, Craig. I mean, I think there's a certain amount of interaction with Craig to where that happens. But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I did it, but that's just because I have Photoshop and no patience. Tell them what's going on.
None. So we're leaving this here network, this Blog Talk Radio
done.
network.
Chris said he saw it.
It was decided pretty unanimously without a ton of pushback or argument, especially once a fine alternative was put forth.
Having a plan helps.
But we've been here at Blog Talk Radio since 2010.
I'm about to say 12 years. Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't want to take any credit, but back in like 2009, RVD had RVD Radio and was taking calls. And I was like, yo, wait, like, we could, for the Torch, do like live cast, or not live cast, but live broadcast and take calls and interact with the folks. And that was just such a, it took not only this show to, we were just doing podcasts for the behind the paywall for the Torch, but it took this show to a bigger or wider audience. But due to a lot of just Blog Talk Radio's kind of overall stagnation, and they changed their algorithm or how they do things about 4 years ago. I haven't really been happy with them, but it's paid for by the boss, and it gets the job done. And I never, and there was no real, not viable option, but one that's like, why make a lateral move, especially when you have a somewhat established name in the marketplace. Listen to me.
Facts though.
But yeah, so we're leaving, and we're going to StreamYard, and they have, looks like a fantastic platform, and just the little things that matter for a show like this, especially one that doesn't have, well, at this point we're about to have a verified host on here, so things might start changing, but it's just a forward move with a better partner and better functions. I remember just 12 years ago loving this switchboard, like, ooh, I can play my little sound effects and shit, and it's just like, man, that's just not like it's just not a selling point anymore. So yeah, so we're out. We'll make sure on all the platforms, on our pages and various accounts, you'll be linked up, and before we go live next week, we'll blast it out to everybody. And this channel here is not going anywhere. We've got a dozen years worth of archives. We're coming up on 600 shows. The 600 show will happen around March or April or something, or maybe sooner. Shit, actually, 600 might happen before the year is over. Now that I think about it. But this will be around, and when people click here, it'll probably be a link to say, oh, we're here, until Blog Talk says, hey, you can't do that. So, at least in the immediate, you guys will, if you show up here, you'll know where to go, and we'll keep it as user-friendly, caller-friendly as possible. I don't think I have to do that. It's already kind of baked into the system. So yeah, next week the big move. It's like WWE going from where was SmackDown before it went to? I guess from UP and the CW. Oh no, it just changed. That wasn't a move. Never mind. Oh, Sci-Fi to something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, StreamYard, here we go. And the name and all that stays the same. I don't know what's going to happen with the phone number, if we'll be able to change that. Those things are going to have to get tweaked this week because someone went ahead and said, hey, y'all, we doing this, and put out information. So we doing it. And we'll just have to, I'll have to figure out how things work in the coming week. So, yeah, that's an exciting time.
J-Ray, we're moving to StreamYard. And he said, what happened? I missed it. We're moving StreamYard, baby. We will be, and how it's going to affect this stream on Twitch, I don't know if it will. Like the way Rich was saying, like we can do that all together, but hell, if we all going to be on there, we might just all need to be on there. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And McFarty, I wasn't disparaging pancakes. Quite the opposite. Waffles are in that equation, are the trash bags.
I love waffles.
And Cam picks waffles over pancakes, and he's
great.
Yeah. Waffles are great, but if you got to pick over pancakes or choose between them and pancakes, it's pancakes by a mile. So.
Brock is
the only
standing
thing
on the
waffles
table
have,
and can't kick him.
The biggest negative that I say about waffles is they're so generic that you never. Who makes waffles? They're all frozen, and you just put them in the toaster or the oven or some shit. But their biggest drawback is what keeps them. It's the consistency. Like, everybody don't make good pancakes, right? Or even you, if you make pancakes, you might be too thin.
You can fuck up a pancake.
You can fuck up a pancake easily. A waffle is just so consistent, and because somebody's stamping them out in a fucking factory somewhere, shoving them down a conveyor belt. But have at your waffle.
Ain't nothing like a damn. Ain't nothing like a damn hotel waffle though. In Texas, with the big Texas outline in your waffle, they just hit different. Yeah.
Hit up a La Quinta continental breakfast, and that might be nice. Yeah, I remember in college, the line for Belgian waffles Sunday brunch was ridiculous. And then by the time you get there, you're the 171st person to make a waffle, and it's just a fucking crime scene of batter.
It's just a mess everywhere. Ain't enough paper towels in the world.
Yeah.
And that drip plate ain't helping.
Drip plate? I had a drip plate? You mean the table, right?
The table, yeah.
So,
oh, man.
All right. We got some stuff to talk about. We had an interesting re-debut, whatever you want to call Bray Wyatt. Return. Gee, I know words. Bray Wyatt's return on SmackDown this past Friday. You had what I thought was going to be a classic week-long transitional heel champion with the belt going from the U.S. title going from championship going from Lashley to Rollins, and then I thought Riddle was going to win Monday, and that didn't happen. Last night's AEW taping, you had Hangman getting banged up pretty bad.
And he's good. If anybody has not seen
real deal
it,
stretcher job.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. Just a concussion is weird, but yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Chris Nowitzki coming out on Twitter, kind of applauding how the whole thing was handled, how the ref saw that the guy was in trouble and immediately stopped the match and took care of the talent, and none of that show must go on shit. So, where do you want to start?
Kane won the world title.
He's the champion. Yes.
by DQ. And now
Lesnar hit him on a chair. No, DDT'd him on a chair, got DQ, and then he's celebrating. He's holding up the title like he did something.
And Kane got the title, and now Brock Lesnar is facing Val Venus at Backlash. How the mighty have fallen. Jesus.
You pissed somebody off.
And this is like Val Venus in like 03, 04. That's nasty. Ugh.
Not even 99, 98 Val Venus.
Yeah.
This is I took Lance Storm under my wing. Val
Venus.
Venus.
Is sick. Oh God. So Trav, tell me about the Bray Wyatt promo. I was at ACL, drinking a $15 can of wine. Tell me about the Bray Wyatt promo.
A can of wine.
Yeah, man.
It was Bray Wyatt. I meant to mention that last week, that after the pay-per-view and then the premium live event and then Raw last Monday, they were continuously just calling him Bray Wyatt. There was no mention of the Fiend, that moniker. And so this was Bray Wyatt showing up, no gimmick, like as far as like his outfit. He was just in regular street clothes and had his hair done normal. And he talked about how he lost his confidence. It was weird. It wasn't the promo I wanted to see on the return, but I felt it was one of those promos that had to be delivered, had to be said in front of an audience for the talent's sake, for the sake of the act. Because I'm not sure if to go out there with a character like Bray Wyatt and to talk about, this is just me, man. This is just me. Already, red flags. Like, oh boy, we're doing the this is real part, which just by definition makes everything else not so real. And oh yes, I'm watching a show and this is all a put on. And I just don't like that feeling while I'm watching wrestling. Like, it's already there because the guy's throwing fucking work punches, but you know, that's the art of it. Don't throw it in my face. Like, I want it presented as a fucking work, as a shoot. But he goes, but it was emotional and it was from the heart and real, and it felt like this is. He didn't say Wyndham Rotunda, but I was.
That's what you felt like he was talking. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And he was saying his confidence was shot. He, wasn't having a good time, and it was the fans that kept him from spiraling into, darkness or depression or things like that. Like, he would see people and people always, when are you coming back? When are you coming? Like, oh, they want to see me. You go, it's those things of, you hear it often from wrestlers, the whole, it's addictive, the crowd pop, that kind of thing. But also the inverse is how they, bona fide stars will be off TV for 6 months and start thinking nobody's going to remember me. Like, I left no legacy. Like, Bray Wyatt could retire, never wrestle again. Sure, he's not going to be like one of the greats or anything, but people are going to remember you. People are going to, when someone makes a Bray Wyatt meme in 5 or 10 years in a wrestling thread or something, people would remember. But logic doesn't account for emotions and feelings and that kind of shit. Look at these garbage kicks Lesnar's throwing. What is this game?
It's terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible.
But he just kind of laid everything bare. And it did, not to sound like a damn commercial for WWE, but it did leave me asking more questions. Like, wait a second, I need. Yeah, so it'll be interesting when he shows up. Excuse me, I'm not sure if he'll be around Friday, but I didn't see him on Raw Monday. Or
he's not on Raw Monday.
They just did the recap. But yeah, so he's a SmackDown. Oh well, he is a SmackDown talent. So hopefully he'll be. I assume he'll do something Friday. On the commercial for SmackDown, they did a really awesome kind of edit with his new mask, kind of real quick. Like, they were like, "Oh, this guy's going to be there in this match," and then they're hyping up the match, or the matches and the card, and then at the end they, do a little, because they didn't say and Bray Wyatt too, but they gave you that last thing, that image in the last frame. So. Yeah, so Bray Wyatt's back, and The Fiend might not be back, or at least in the way we knew it. I'm interested to. Oh, they had. Did you see Raw? Because ACL was over the weekend. So did you see Raw Monday?
I did.
Or hear about it? Okay, so the promo, it was really just a voiceover of what I thought was Bray Wyatt, or maybe it's the Fiend, the new Fiend, or whoever, the darkness that lives inside Bray Wyatt, was kind of talking shit. It sounded like to Bray Wyatt. So that's interesting. Like, it seems like this is the twist on the character that we were all waiting for. And how are they going to present him this go round? Is he just going to be, just wondering? And that kind of gave me some insight. It just had that voiceover, like, who do you think you are? You think you can run from me? I don't remember the exact wording, but he was talking shit, and it sounded like it was to Bray Wyatt. It's like, oh, he's having that internal kind of struggle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially after Friday when he bared it all to the world and really not even a baby face, just a human being, vulnerable human being.
Person. Do you think that the rabbit and the fucking duck and the turtle, whoever the fuck he got with him, do you think those are going to play out to be actual like other wrestlers, or are those just going to be projections?
If you read between the lines and the lines themselves, because it's actually getting reported that he has the Wyatt Six.
Okay, yeah.
I think Uncle Harper. There, I saw an article that said this was a tribute to
Brody. Yeah.
Yes. So Uncle Harper and Uncle Wallow, another kind of kooky, gimmicky kind of sounding name, got trademarked or something like that.
Okay.
That Gerwick or one of the sheets kind of picked up. So it sounds like he's going to have a full stable of some sort. I can't imagine he's going to have a stable of 6 wrestlers, or even 5, including himself as the Wyatt Six.
It's a lot of people.
Going to be how it is. That's a lot. So I don't know if there's going to be a mascot or two. If Uncle Harper is
Uncle Howdy.
Is a Howdy, that's the one. Yeah, Uncle Howdy. Are they going to be like Hillbilly Jim types, like after he, stopped wrestling, where it's just basically a mascot for the stable, or is he going to have a fucking wrestling a tag team? Just the traditional kind of, we got a tag team, we got somebody that goes for this title, we got this title, and then and a woman. Shit, they might have 2 women. Who knows? But we don't know, and that's a part of the fun, because not everything is out there. There's some things getting reported. Obviously, you can't, if you trademark stuff, that's hard to hide. From people that are looking for it. But yeah, I think they've turned Friday really into a must-see show, because the Bloodline stuff is just, if you like the Bloodline stuff, and if the Bloodline can get 2.5 million people any given week, add on this really intriguing stuff with Bray Wyatt, and even Omos versus fucking Braun Strowman. I don't know if it's a match. I think that was the gist of the promo, and Omos, punching his fist over and over again. That's even exciting. Like, oh shit, even if it's just a confrontation or face to face, I'm excited to see Omos getting Braun Strowman's face and knock him down a peg. It'll probably be the opposite, but still. So I think SmackDown is really gonna, in the next coming weeks, going to turn into an absolutely must-see show, for sure. And Bray Wyatt is going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, they're cooking over there. On the Raw side, how bittersweet is it that, like, Lashley and Lesnar, and they're going at it, and Lashley's sick of Lesnar shit and whooped his ass, and I'm not going to see the match. It just it sucks.
Yep, I had the same thought. I was like, well, this is going to be like that I think the last Crown Royal, or what is it? Crown Jewel.
I'd love WWE Crown Royal.
Little bag, purple bag comes in. It's on paper, it looked really good, and then it turned out to be a really fun show, that last Riyadh show. But I don't watch it, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
That's just the principalities of it.
But that was a fun display. Bobby was sick of Lesnar shit.
That's another thing. I'm glad they didn't, because they already made him look like an idiot. Not getting beat up and getting snuffed and beat up. That's perfectly fine. But being a dumbass and saying, ring the bell, ref, and losing your title. But you understand how and where the story has to go, and so that's understandable.
Trev, I know you just saw it, but I want to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just, this was the dumbest thing about the game. You could basically try to sabotage people, but like it wouldn't work every time. Just look at what happens on the screen.
Oh, the crate tried to fall on Kurt. Yeah.
He just missed. And he's like,
but remember, that actually happened, so there's some precedent.
But like,
I didn't understand. He's like, encourage, taunt, or whatever. Like,
yeah,
like
set trap.
They're trying to introduce RPG elements into the wrestling game.
Crown Royal with orange Fanta? You doing anything out here, Chris?
That sounds horrible. First off, brown liquor and me I'm already suspect. But to add anything not Coke or Pepsi or just ice is like, ugh.
Some ginger ale, light juice. But yeah, yeah, that like you said, not stupid, but prideful in a way he didn't need to be, and getting his exacted revenge. Yeah, and of course, like you talk about being misinterpreted. I literally posted the video of him putting him through the table, and I said, I like Tope Suicidas. Fuck Tope Suicidas. And someone absolutely tweeted me, but what does this have to do with Tope Suicidas? And I was just like, you know what? I'm good. Like,
it's only going to get worse.
I can't even. I said, like, basically what Big E said about big meaty men slapping meat, and you don't need your 5-star matches.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, well, what does this have to do with it? I'm like,
besides everything, you fucking dummy.
I'm literally saying I like a thing, but I also like this thing, and you're an idiot. Security telling Brock he can't get through, and him stop. Like, oh, this is so dumb. But yeah, that was fun. And then Mustafa Ali closing out Raw. Like, how do you make things new? You do new things.
You do new things with new people.
Yeah, with good people too.
And and you let them you give them the confidence to when they actually. It's not like it doesn't feel like a token. Because if he gets himself over, you feel there's going to, if the crowd starts feeling him, he's going to get a push. He's going to get a sustained look, and it hasn't always been like that. So, yeah. And again, I wasn't even the biggest fan of how he, was approaching things. Just coming out there and like when he got in Bobby Lashley's face 2 weeks ago, poking him in the chest. Like, fam, you going to get your head torn off. And then,
you are going to die.
But he got, pinned clean. And but they did the babyface thing where they had, the champion, Bobby Lashley, showing some real respect and helping him up and kind of shaking his hand or whatever before Lesnar or somebody jumped him from behind. I guess it was Lesnar. I don't remember. But yeah,
that was fun. Yeah. Before we get too deep, did you watch both NXT and Dynamite last night?
I watched neither.
Okay, I had them both playing at the same time. So Halloween Havoc is Saturday. They won't let me forget.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you're looking forward to specifically? Like, of course, I want to see the ladder match for the North American title. You got a mix of new, a mix of old in there. So that should be really fun. You got this triple threat for the NXT title. Yeah, so there's some good stuff in there. Let me see. I want to bring up the card because... And oh, so you didn't see... Rhea finally comes out of what? Rhea finally comes out of not retirement, but she's kind of been on the shelf for a little while. She took on Roxanne last night. And Rhea looked dominant as ever. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Was she officially on the show? Like her?
Yeah, it was
like
a match.
With the
So they went heavy because they were going head to head with AEW. So the whole Judgment Day was there. KO was there. Like, yeah, KO did a KO show for the main eventers. It was a lot. Yeah. So we got, let me see, Apollo Crews, Grayson Waller, in a spin the wheel, make a deal match. Same thing with Roxanne and Cora. That's going to be a weapons match. Julius Creed, Damon Kemp, ambulance match. If Julius loses, Brutus has to leave NXT. Mello, Oro Mensah, Wesley, Von Wagner, and Nathan Fraser. Ladder match for the North American Championship. Mandy Rose and Alba Fire. By the way, Mandy Rose, don't know the lady. I know, like, in the short time we have known her, she's had some crazy things happen. Like, her brother just passed away. I believe the young lady Sarah Lee, who won NXT, who passed away a couple weeks ago, was a friend of hers. We seen the guy break into Mandy and Sonya's place. Like, it's been like a lot. So for her to be back on TV already, that's a tough lady. That's absolutely a tough lady. Her and Alba Fire for the NXT Women's title, and then Breaker, Dragunov, and McDonough triple threat for the NXT Championship. So yeah, and Shotzi's hosting, and and Quincy's hosting with her because he beat Zion in a match.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See, that ought to be, I'm not a fan of his in-ring gimmick and gimmickry and everything, but as a personality, like, not like presented as a wrestler per se, hosting, that should be a pretty interesting combo of him and Shotzi.
Eric Bischoff really had that jet black hair in like 04, 05. After we already saw him gray.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely a decision. Yeah, that should be a fun show. I think, of course, the ladder match I think is going to steal the show. Creed and Kemp.
The triple threat is one of those matches. The triple threat I assume is going to be the main event, but that's one of those matches where I go, oh yeah, this is going to be a banger, but I have no interest in seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, if I see it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see it.
Dragunov's going to give up his body on every single move and try to, massacre everybody on every single move. I love that about him. I think Creed and Kemp is going to be crazy, man. I'm just so high on Julius Creed. I think he's amazing. That should be really good.
Yeah, it's a one-sided match for me as far as interest. I care. Creed brothers, I like them. I like their wrestling. I like their demeanor. That Kemp guy just seems kind of bush league and try hard.
I think, not you particularly, but I think people would like him more if his brother wasn't like the most highly touted free agent in the last 15 years. Like being the
Who's
other.
His brother?
Oh, his brother's
baseball player.
Gable Steveson is his brother.
Oh, what the fuck?
And like your brother kind of flamed out already. So yeah. I like him. I think he's actually
Shit,
like
he
pretty
wrestling.
good.
He better because he on TV, making a check to wrestle.
Yeah.
Gable Stevenson can't even for whatever reason can't even get out the block.
It's interesting. We for every Kurt Angle and Shayna Baszler and Brock Lesnar, there's Shelton Benjamin. There's a million people you've never heard of who just could not mentally make the transition to pro wrestling.
You mean former athletes? I didn't understand where that was.
Yeah, like wrestlers or MMA guys.
Big time athletes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just could not make the transition, and he might just be one of those guys. And again, doesn't speak to his athletic acumen. It just does not translate for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my low key, not so low key favorites that I at any moment try to shove into any wrestling conversation if it fits. But fucking the Man Bear it fits in that where it's like he was like, it looked like on paper when you thought, oh, he's coming from MMA or whatever, over to WWE. This is going to be interesting.
Is this my man who was with Elijah Burke?
Yes. That man, I'm blanking on his name all of a sudden.
I want to call him Sylvester, but that's not his name, right?
Yeah, Turkey.
Yeah, it was Sylvester. Yeah. I was like, I want to call him Sylvester. Yeah, Sylvester Turkey, yeah.
That didn't help. Yeah. But anyway, he fits that bill. There are a ton of people that you think, oh, this could work, but you start taking bumps, and you're a fighter. Especially, I can't imagine how hard it is for an MMA wrestler. I think has an easier, like Gable Stevenson would have because you grapple. This is MMA. You got to learn. Your instinct is to strike, to put everything into that punch or kick or knee or elbow. So I would think the mental part of getting, especially if you're doing both. If you're like Shayna and you're retired and you're, older and you're not going back, sure she could just dedicate. Mm-hmm. But if you want to have a toe still in the MMA, that's probably a little tougher. Like when Bobby Lashley was doing that, I think that's probably why he wasn't very good at either.
Yeah.
At the time, until he went to TNA and put it all together.
And MVP was like, "Hey, I got you," and then he just took off. Oh man, Bobby Lashley's 46 and like wrestling the best wrestling of his life. By the way, did you see?
Yep, about to have a main event match, or at least main event caliber match with
did you see?
Arguably the biggest star in the business.
You didn't watch AEW, so Jack Swagger was walking out there with Jericho, and Jack Swagger's in the best shape of his life. Like, if somebody said he was vegan now, I'd be like, oh, okay. Because he looks amazing. Like, it's ridiculous. Speaking of AEW, have you seen the Athena controversy, Trav?
No, but I've heard about it. I heard she manhandled a jobber.
So, not a jobber. That's the first thing. She manhandled a very good independent wrestler, apparently, right? And it looks so good that people are calling for Athena's head. Somebody we've never heard of being reckless or taking advantage. Ever. Never.
Right. Yeah.
And it is just a mess. And apparently, like, it's... Let me see if I can find the video. Because you need to, like, see it. But apparently, like, what they did was, like, what they be doing, and people made a big deal out of it.
Normal kind of.
Because apparently, like, the lady is a bump machine, is what they're saying. Like, so
she was too good at her job. Too good of a seller. The fuck, can't win.
And like,
we're calling her Vader.
And look at the tweet. Like, look at what the person is actually saying. It's just words, and it's words from people who don't know anything, and it's just the most annoying.
She's a competitor. This is tremendous. This is
what you're seeing.
Wrestling match.
Incredibly intense match right here. Don't mistake the smiles on Athena.
It's ridiculous, and they're making up narratives on things they know nothing about, and apparently Jody Threat is cold like that and from the area and just can take a bump and make it look like she died, Right. There's one shot where Athena like also suplexes her over the top rope. But you've never heard anything bad about
So there wasn't... Okay, so I thought this was... When people start throwing around Vader and Road Warriors, it's like... it's like, oh, she's just she's just punching somebody in the face and clotheslining them like in the throat and just being super stiff. Like, no. She's laying in those elbows, but nothing like over the line or it doesn't look like that woman, the opponent, is in any kind of real danger of being hurt. Like you said, I mean, even though I'm looking for it and I didn't see it in real time, I'm like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're a wrestling fan. Like, this is what happens. Again, I'm on more along the lines of make it look good rather than it be real. Like, the art is making it look real.
Yeah,
look painful.
Supposed to like you got hurt.
Keeping yourself and your opponent safe.
Like, look at King of Diamonds. I've
Also,
seen her in death matches. Like,
we also know about stiff matches and working through shit. And again, it didn't seem like it was overly stiff or overly rude, or she had a vendetta. Again, I'm gonna go out there and this local talent fucking show her.
And again, there's literally no history of her doing anything along those lines. Like,
right?
You've never heard.
There is a history of her, laying in shit and being as physical as she is. Like, I mean, that match of the year candidate with her, that match she had with Asuka in NXT. Like, you think she was in there patty caking around with fucking Asuka? There was the outrage there.
Exactly.
Is it because Asuka is a veteran and not some young person that we never heard of potentially?
What I learned in the last probably 2-3 years, and especially the last 2-3 months, is everything just does not require a reaction. You don't have to have a stance on every single thing that happens in wrestling. And 9 out of 10 times, nobody wants you to take a side. Like, it's... You step back and you see just how nasty it is, and everybody wants to be part of a conversation, and it's such a non-story that bad actors turn into a story. Yeah. I don't know if we've talked about, like, Orange Cassidy finally beat my man Tupac. Tupac's one Pac again.
Beat Pac, yeah.
He's one Pac.
He made the same joke Rich made last week.
Oh, did he say that?
He was VIP, yeah. I'm pretty sure he made that. Or maybe it was like you last week. But no, it was before the show. Yeah. We talked before the show. Rich was afterwards, yeah. So it had to be him. Yeah,
one Pac. But then they had a really good match for the trios title. Boy, when that damn Ray Phoenix does the Rikishi driver, I saw you putting people's head right through the mat. It looks amazing every time.
Is that where you have the guy over your shoulder and his torso is facing, I guess, yours, and then you drop him with a modified kind of pile driver?
Yeah, kind of like a sit out tombstone.
Yeah, but Rikishi was cold with it. He would throw out his
arms would go out. Yeah. And that motherfucking gravity was not friendly to him. He
had to do shit. He just with the timing, he throw them arms out and then lift his legs.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah. So that looked good. And then Moxley, Hangman. Shout out to the ref for catching the concussion quick. Glad he's okay.
Because apparently it happened on a relatively rudimentary move, not like a German suplex or a high and tight, side suplex where your head hits and it's very obvious that
just landed like forehead first, and you could just kind of see it on the replay, and it's like, oh, but yeah, man, he's good. Was able to tweet today. I just want them to take their time. We've seen concussions get crazy. And then MJF once again cuts the promo of the year for like the third time. Just him and Regal get in there, and he talks about when he was at NXT trying to get on, and how Regal said he was too young, and it was just, it's fantastic. I had to reach out to the kid, tell him he smoked it again, because he smoked it again. You got to go back and watch that. Max is just on another. He's on another level right now, and it's weird because they have him kind of tweening right now, like. So I hope that they just go back to total piece of shit. Like, no, I don't want tweener Max. I don't want villain whose origin story excuse. No, give me piece of shit Max. I need that. Like, don't.
Right.
So hopefully we get
Like,
back to that.
I'm making the effort and the decision to fucking mock you and,
Exactly.
or to whatever. Not, yeah.
I'm afraid that because they literally had Garcia do that against Daniel Bryan, I'm kind of like, just. I wish. I think the thing with Garcia should have been going that route and still might be. And also, Wheeler Yuta's sick. He is like, yo, this is what the fuck happens when you don't roll with who you got and try to bring somebody else in. Daniel, you dumb fuck. So, yeah, it's...
interesting dynamic.
Yeah, so that's actually a pretty good, like, thing that they're telling. But, yeah, and then your man Dalton Castle, with the highest draws in the world.
I saw the screenshot. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
The fucking boys. Everybody's there. Yeah.
He got 4 hoes now. He got all the hoes, man. This shit is crazy.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Him and Jericho put on a really good match. That was really fun.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's about the week in wrestling. What else? Riho's back, so that's pretty cool. Jade is officially the longest reigning black women's champion ever, like on TV.
Who she passed?
Wait, no. Bianca is. I'm sorry. Bianca is because she just passed 200 days. Not Jade. I apologize. There was we were having a conversation about how Jade's been booked to be so dominant. But Bianca just passed 200, so Bianca's the longest reigning, I believe.
Okay. But hasn't Jade been champ for, like, forever? Seems like she would have been...
I'm going to see. Jade Cargill.
I mean, whenever the yes.
About to say, she was the one who won it, right?
Yeah, she's the only
let me see.
champion.
Jade won the title on January 5th of this year. So she's up there.
And Bianca won at WrestleMania last year, so right?
Bianca won at WrestleMania this year.
No, this year.
So Jade has to be the longest reigning. Yeah, that is correct.
Gotta be.
It is Jade. Let's see. January 5th. I mean, it's not even close. I'm aware that January is before April. January 5th to October 19. That would be 5th. 200.
Gotta be close to 300. It ain't, what? 70 days left in the year.
Yeah, 287 days. So,
yeah,
she might fuck around and touch a year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Like,
when Willow didn't beat her, when Willow didn't beat her, it's like, okay, we're riding. Yeah. So we'll see. Brock Lesnar manipulated The Rock into beating up Kane. Okay.
And these generic ass backstage scenes that are just, no matter who's in who it is, they all do the same motions. They all make the same.
Yeah,
and
it
look
was
at
my
this.
man
Like
Phil.
the attacks are terrible. Like, why is he like shaking his shoulders for?
Yeah, my man Phil said basically Bianca's reign. What makes Jade's reign so impressive is that it's longer than any reign WWE's had for black women, and WWE's the only place that has had black women in a prominent position. So I did not have any problem with what he said. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. But, you can't say that on the internet because there are people who decide.
Is he a white guy?
Like you. No, Phil's black. Phil got dreads. But you can't say that because people have decided that you have a side and people have chosen sides.
Okay, I got a fucking side. I'm for black people and for black women specifically.
Yeah,
oh, darn me.
But again, they read it as him saying, oh, look what AEW is doing better than WWE. And it wasn't that. It was like, yo, WWE's been doing a great job. And that just shows how impressive it is what AEW is doing. I do not have a problem with that at all. But, niggas taking sides. They gave Rey Mysterio the most generic mask ever in his art. It's just purple.
That same damn crate keeps missing people.
Get some. You need something heavier.
Whoever hanging about, yo, that mask is garbage. What the? Oh, that's embarrassing.
He has spent the last half hour trying to get Kane to give him a title match, and Kane is not having it. He's calling out Kane right now. He's leaning over the rope, and then they're gonna go to the entranceway, and Kane said, "Fuck that, fail. You're not getting that title back, Daddy."
All right, let's see who we got hanging out in queue. Pretty typical. Let's got all those folks. I'm calling people out.
Yeah, it's the last show. You, if you on the line, you getting brought on. We're not listen. We're not afraid. We're not afraid of you not calling in next week. There's no more calls.
845. Like fuck. What am I do? You gonna sit on hold on the new platform? That's what you're gonna do. Like you've been doing for 10, 12 years. All right, let's start things off by heading to Newark and talking to Kylan. See what he's got on his mind. Kylan, what you got going on?
What up? Not much, Travis. How are you and Cam doing this week?
Doing okay.
Fucking busy, but we making it work.
Excellent, Cam.
What you got on your mind?
My first question for you two fine gentlemen is, now that we are exactly 3 months into the Triple H administration of WWE as of Saturday, as of next Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Because he took over July 25th. What are your initial thoughts on Triple H's performance as the official main man of WWE at this point?
Yeah. The creative, the end-all creative voice and force in WWE, I think, is apt. Thumbs up for the most part. There are few things that are kind of baffling that I was like, what? Why did he... Like Braun Strowman coming out there and decimating the tag division when he returned. It's like that was a big Vince move. They had Vince energy heavy when it happened. And then one or two things here and there, but that was the most egregious one. But overall, not going to agree or like everything somebody does. But thumbs up from me. Cam, your overall thoughts on the AV era, the after Vince era?
Yeah. It's been fun. I think he's still getting... The fuck is this? Oh, did we switch games because my man couldn't get a title shot? Fantastic. I think it's been fun, man. I think he's still working characters into place. I've enjoyed the TV. I think the Bloodline right now to me is the highlight of pro wrestling. I think that we're getting cool storylines with Damage Control. I like what he's doing with Bianca. I like what he's doing with Seth. Really interesting creatively with like Bray Wyatt. It's been fun. Not everything's perfect. Like not every show, not every Raw is like balls to the wall exciting. I like who he's brought back. I like NXT. So I'm a fan. Like I'm going to say a B because I'm not breaking down my walls to watch wrestling in a way that I wouldn't be doing already. So it's not like I'm not telling people, damn, you got to see this, So I'd say a B. It's been solid.
Yeah, I'd probably go B+. because I actually am, like I said last week, I'm excited and I'm upset with myself when I miss, the first 15 or so minutes of a show because of the idea of, I probably missed something cool, and I missed something fucking cool Monday, and I missed the whole damn, at least live, but I missed the Lesnar Lashley confrontation. So yeah, I mean, thumbs up, B plus, A for effort. Just because it's different. It's things mean stuff. Just little things like Gargano, right, on Monday, and how he didn't wrestle, but he was in 2, maybe 3 segments in meaningful ways. Because the biggest knock on Johnny Gargano is he doesn't have the best personality, or the biggest personality. He's kind of bland. Jim Cornette calls him Johnny Same Face. No matter what situation he's in, he could be under the most stressful situation or getting the biggest gift, and he has the same bland face according to Corny. Oh, that's different now. Like, he's showing a decent amount of personality and not like over the top, try hard shit. Just kind of his natural charisma and those kinds of things are shining through. And if he has a series with Miz, which I could see after Miz is done with Loomis, which was another well done, well executed, thought out a storyline with a little intrigue of why don't you tell the truth? And it's like, what are they getting at? It's yeah, A for effort, B for execution, those kinds of things. So yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else for us? What else you got?
And my final question for you. Since he has, for all intents and purposes, to my knowledge, always maintained a great professional and personal relationship with Triple H since he hired Triple H in January of 1995, and since Triple H is known to be a person who lets people do the job they do well the way they want to do them, do you think it is possible that Jim Ross will return to WWE in any capacity when his AEW contract expires?
My instincts say no.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I could see him coming back for a proper send-off, but to come back and like actually work, no. He's already on a lighter schedule with AEW. He's kind of one night a week, half the show when he does that. So no, I don't think so. I think that we think about our talent as timeless. I was having when I was talking to Mello, like as we're talking, I'm realizing like his Hogan Andre moment is John Cena and Kurt Angle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he said he didn't start watching until Ruthless
He's
Aggression.
a Ruthless Aggression
Wow.
kid, so because he's like 26. You know what I mean? So we like to think of our legends as timeless. But no, I do not see Jim Ross once again being a full-time or even a part-time like TV announcer. They've gotten substantially younger on air in the last week, with the shuffling around and things of that nature. So no, I don't think so.
And Jim Ross isn't that good anymore.
There's also a drop off in talent at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a shot at JR, but it's just I watch him and I know what he's capable of. I don't know if it's a degradation in talent. I don't think that's. I mean, you talk about wrestling. I'm not sure if. I think it's an interest level, not even, and that's not a shot at AEW. I think it's an interest in the product, period, and an aged out kind of thing. Like, yeah, JR absolutely does not fit in current WWE. He'll show up to be inducted in the Hall of Fame if he hasn't already been. I don't think so. But like Cam said, maybe a proper send off. You just remember the relationship between JR and upcoming main event talent Triple H. And I'm not sure if it was the best. And I don't mean they were butting heads, but I just don't know if they, Triple H appreciated JR as much as, the rest of us, or as much as like a talent like The Rock or Austin or somebody did.
And even with that, Trav, like I was saying about Mello and the in-ring talent, like there's a generation of wrestlers who are older than Travis and Cameron, who their dream is to have their main event match called by Jim Ross. That is simply not the case if you came into the fold in like 2003, starting to watch wrestling. Like, it don't mean that to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, no, I think that you're going to see, like, you had JBL as the guy who came out and touted the importance of a Baron Corbin. I don't think that, like, JBL was world champ for the very first time in 2005, 2004, right? So, like, yeah, there's just a lot of the references JR was making, or not JR, that JBL was making are for people, like, older than us, or people who are super students of the game, like a Kylan Furlow. You know what I mean? So, no, I really don't think so. The funniest thing about this game, Hogan's leg drop was so trash, and like they didn't have big time edited, like there wasn't WWF SmackDown.
Hogan doesn't look like Hogan. Scott Hall doesn't look like.
Well, no. I'm not talking about like that part of it. I mean, like literally, it took until No Mercy for them to properly edit in the people's elbow, and it wasn't even a finisher. It was just a move that Rock did. So like they don't have cutscene finisher like WWF SmackDown Know Your Role. You know what I mean? Like they can't. Hogan's leg drop can't finish a match because there's no way to not make it just a standard move. Everybody's finishers were either off the top rope or a grapple or a submission.
And now he's wrestling Eric Bischoff for some reason. But anyway, yeah. All right, Kylan. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
Yep. We'll talk soon. Let's keep things... Wait, you know what? Before I get too far... Okay. No non-VIP emails. Let's go ahead and refresh that. Yeah. All VIPs. Okay. Let's go to the website. Bring on Boris from Chicago. Boris, what's happening?
What up? What's happening, guys? This is the last show, and then we go to sing. I gotta go out with a bang. I'll just say it like this: John Cena still sucks.
What did he say?
John Cena sucks.
I still hate Roman Reigns. And the Black Adam is not Black Adam; it's the Rock Adam.
I heard that shit was trash. Willis was on Facebook destroying that movie all day today. Like,
it's gotten some really bad reviews.
I just want to know if he's gonna do some moves. He's taking over DC. You heard him. He wanted the Snyder version of his movie, and
this is the first phase in an upcoming. Okay,
I mean, Rock. What does it depend on? Like, they got to make a lot of money. The funny part is, like, if you read some of the reviews, they're saying things like he was great, everything else was bad. If like, because basically like what people are saying is we got to do what we can to stay in his good graces because he got the book now.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it. I can't see myself like going to the movies to go see it, but I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'm the same. I said last week, if I get my hands on it in some way, but I'm not. I bought my Wakanda Forever ticket, so I'm like, I'm budgeted. That's my fun. That's my movie stuff. I'm not, I rarely go to the theater anyway. It's when Marvel stuff drops. I just can't. I'm gonna spend $15 to see Black Adam. Like, yeah, no, probably not.
His finisher is a standing choke, where he picks you up off of 2 feet and chokes you, and the person playing the game decided to follow that up with a leg drop and got a 2 count because it's a leg drop.
He leg dropped him on his legs. What do you mean? He leg dropped Undertaker's leg, or not Undertaker, but whoever the hell he's wrestling his legs.
I seen Teddy Long get ran over by a car. Did he die? I was like, what the fuck was that? We used early in the game. What? Teddy Long was standing
in the game. I'm wondering what the hell.
Teddy Long was standing there and got ran over by a car. And I'm like, what the hell?
You remember that storyline where he.
Cam?
What happened?
Did he die?
Did Teddy Long die? I don't know. He got me blocked.
I've never seen it. I never played this game or seen it.
Oh,
so,
yeah. This was like the first N64 wrestling game. I played this to the fucking dirt. The best part about this game, Waltman is 6 in this game, of course, but he has the lightning tights, the black tights with the gold and red lightning, and he does a fucking, oh, there he is. Hey, I'm a genius. He does a fucking buzz killer, and he does the crotch chops, and he does the karate jump the entire time. He's great. He's amazing in this game. That fucking crossface chicken wing, boy. Ooh, man.
Now, I'm speaking it out because I heard it was a good one. Triple Mania? The Triple A did a show this weekend or something like that.
Yo, let me ask you, Boris. Do you follow like Penta specifically?
I haven't. But
so
I guess I wasn't active enough, so they kept kicking me off.
Yeah. So he like. Well, when I mean follow, I mean like his TV stuff and his like Mexico stuff, and so he always changes his name like every 3 months. And apparently, like in AAA, there's like this long ongoing story about him becoming different characters and Penta El this and Penta El that, and like now he's like fucking Penta Lord of the Dead and fucking Mask Ripped Off in Blood, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Please keep doing it. Because he shows up as like a different guy every 3 months. I love it. It's amazing. Somebody's going to explain it to me one day. But it's great. I love it.
Well, I was listening to Keeks. She does the show with the other guys. And she was speaking on that particular show. So I want to go, I went and found the actual full video of it. So I can check it out because they said he won somebody else's mask. It's sort of like an honor or something that they had to work for because they don't have a lineage or something. So let me just go check this out. But did you hear about that, Cam?
No, I did not. Like I'm so like I catch him on regular TV.
My man, I'm sorry. I forgot. You are super busy.
No. Don't.
There's a lot going on. I'm catching up too.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up.
But no, like it's due to copyrights. That's why he keeps doing that. Oh, that's even better. Like,
oh wow.
Like he gotta be somebody different every few months. Oh, I love that. That's great. Yeah, but it's fun. He show up as just anybody, man. I love that shit.
So what? It takes 3 months or so until whoever owns that gimmick or owns the likeness.
Yeah, in litigation. Okay, you can't use that one. All right, I'm Penta El Gato Negro now. Yeah. Ride that one out for a couple of months.
Like
One
Mr.
thing.
Penta, there's already a black cat that there's already a black cat that yeah. That's interesting.
So does this mean John Moxley got the most deadly clothesline over Stan Hansen, Brian Stan Hansen?
Okay.
What?
Guy takes one bad. But first off, the new clothesline from hell, or as it was dubbed back in the East Coast audio days, the Closelino del Muerte, has been passed down. I texted Dre last night. I said, or on Monday, I said, we finally have to pass the Closelino del Muerte torch or whatever, and he said, that shit is the Closelino del Purgatorio at best, and I lost my shit.
Wow. Just leave you out there.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That whole Corbin thing, that's going to be a work in progress and like a swing for the fences kind of thing. Like, it's either going to work really well or not at all. And I'm not sure after one appearance how I feel about it, what the direction it's going to go in. JBL was trying his hardest, and Corey Graves was great too, interacting with JBL and Kevin Patrick.
Saying Dolph was been stealing money is crazy, and like, I like Dolph. But Dolph.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's the one that you say that about.
Yeah, like I feel like that's when you bring in random guy. Like random guy.
But they probably don't want to sit. They don't want it to ring too true. Like Triple H probably isn't in the business of hurting guys' feelings for TV fucking ha-has. Like, let's go out there and make fun of this guy who's been fucking busting his ass for us. But but he doesn't get over, but he's still around somehow.
It was probably like,
yeah,
Dolph, you re-signed 3 months ago, so we got you for another 3 years, and you making how much? What you think about us doing this? And Dolph probably like, I don't give a fuck, dog. I've been cashing this check since about 2006, or whenever, and okay, whatever you want to do.
I also didn't like you wouldn't survive, you make it in the Attitude Era.
But it's like Dolph.
Fuck you in the Attitude Era.
And it's like, well, Dolph would actually beat all those guys up, though. that's the funny part.
You didn't survive. Survive in the Attitude Era, but you wasn't shit as far as main events and premier matchups.
Yeah, they put you next to a Heisman finalist, former world champ, and then behind The Undertaker. And there's no disrespect, but like, yeah, you. But again, like, when I look at everybody from the Attitude Era, 90% of those guys, you put them in a room with Dolph the one walking out the room. That's the funny part.
Oh, absolutely. He's stretching motherfuckers out ridiculous, and it's not even. Yeah. And they probably wouldn't even test him. Like, it's not like he'd be picked on because he's 5'9", 5'10", or whatever. He'd be.
He's Pillman. They'd be like, nah, we good.
Yeah,
we are good.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, he's Pillman without the hair trigger probably. But still, just because he don't have a fucking snap, attitude or temper kind of thing, don't mean I want to be pushing his buttons.
Yeah, we're not playing with that.
Fucking with him, especially the mid '90s ribs. Owen Hart. Get handed. Yeah, I don't.
One more question.
Yeah.
If we were on a TV show, what day would you put it on? If Ring of Honor gets a date,
this shit better be Thursday.
Thursday?
That shit better be Thursday.
Take, the days that the TBS TNT has sports on, and what day would you put it on?
Either Thursday in prime time or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I would.
Why not Tuesday?
Saturday?
Why not Tuesday?
Because anybody watching that shit over no
NXT. Your fucking show.
Anybody watching that shit over no NXT.
Right. I don't even fuck with NXT currently, and I wouldn't watch Ring of Honor over NXT. The only chance you would get me to watch Ring of Honor is if it was on at a convenient time when nothing else
put
that
that
I
on
would want to see is on.
Saturday at
Reason why I
6:05.
picked
I'm
Saturday-
watching.
But
There you
the reason
go.
why I didn't pick Saturday because they turned Saturday into a paper slot now.
That's what's
It's
Oh, I
hard.
said Saturday.
That's
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah. So like, I mean, I feel like you could do if it's an hour show. I feel like you could do it 6:05. And you know that only really hinders you if you're AEW. That only hinders you maybe 4 times a year.
And if you're AEW, you cross promote it.
Yeah. You just
You're
like
AEW,
you're all
say, before
you just
our
open.
show,
Yeah. You
watch
just,
Ring of Honor on.
Exactly.
I don't know if it'll be on a Turner network or on a whatever under the umbrella, but they could let people know in some form.
Yeah.
What about a Sunday slot since all the pay-per-views are going to Saturday?
Fuck no.
Sunday night?
Well, they're not all going to Saturday, but
Right.
if you're going to do Sunday, I think that's absolutely you would have to do it in the afternoon. Because Sunday is just a month for people that are still watching live TV.
I would
You know, obviously Sunday 4 months out of the year is.
But this is what I would
football.
do. If you have it on a Sunday, you literally put it on at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Sundays. Because that is the gap between the afternoon game and the night game.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting because I am looking forward to Ring of Honor just because if they give it a regular slot that you can actually watch it and not have to seek it out. You know what I'm saying?
Is Jericho going to be headlining as their champion?
It's so far.
He didn't drop.
But I just I like the reaction that Dalton Council got. It really surprised me. Sometimes you think these people ain't going to get a reaction, but he got a really good reception. You know what I'm saying?
People know
like
Dolph.
his
People
gimmick.
like Dolph. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan
And
won
I
the
like how-
championship. He got a
I
trophy.
like how you use the boys. And throw them at stuff. That was really cool. That whole thing.
I tell you
was
what,
really nice.
that would get me to watch Ring of Honor. Just Dalton Castle being featured. It was one of the, even though the match was just average, it was one of my personal highlights of that Ring of Honor pay-per-view from 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, until StreamYard. That's
Yep. We'll get you. We'll get you all the info and make sure to come to the end of another episode. We'll be wrapping things up here on the live show, and again, as Boris said, this is last week on Blog Talk Radio. It's been a joy. It's been really fun. 12 years on the platform, but time to move on.
Yeah, man.
Man, almost 12 years exact. September 27th, I think. 2010.
Yeah, man. It'll be a fun transition. I think that we have been nothing if not steady, nothing if not a reliable source of entertainment. I'm excited to expand this thing that we do because we've been finding ways to expand it for years, and this should be one more thing. So yeah, man, thank you for letting me be a part of this since way back when I used to have to go into a different office at work to do the show if I was working late. Yeah, man, but it's been a great run. Can't wait to see what's next for us for sure.
Indeed. If you're listening to this in podcast form and you are a VIP member, please click over.
Muted.
Rich and I will be by for another hour or so of content.
Guys.
Give us a listen. And, getting a little, it's all kind of hitting me like, oh, shit, this whole format, everything is going to look different and sound different. Hopefully all for the better next week. So, until next week on StreamYard, make sure you follow the socials, because all the info, for links and how to, we want you to save it in your phone, save it on your laptop, all those kinds of things. So just keep an eye on the socials this week, and yeah, we'll talk to y'all next week on a whole new platform.
Yeah.
For Cam, for callers, for the tweeters, for the chat room.
Whew.
I'm Trav. We out.
Guys, I'm going to start my very long night of writing, but it should be really fun, man. Mello was really fun to talk to. Yeah, it's going to have a real college feel to it. Try to throw in some college football too, I think. So be ready for that, man. Expect that Friday morning. If you have not subscribed to my RSS feed with The Ringer, I'm going to give you that shit right now. Please subscribe to that. And then we'll probably do a podcast for South Congress, if not over the weekend. Let's see. Cameron Hawkins, Ringer. Probably over the weekend to talk about not only that story, but some of the stuff that I'm working on here. Thank you very much, Chris, for the good luck wishes. Here is the RSS feed, mine at The Ringer. So if you got that on, I'm sorry, that's not even The Ringer RSS. That's just my name. It'll take you there. But here's the RSS feed. So, yeah, expect something from me Friday morning. I'm going to get to work. Guys, have a great night. Thank you for rocking with us on the East Coast Cast for so long. Thank you for being a part of the stream.